now's the part where, as usual, we get to find out if everything is working or not. Because it never really is when you're doing live. Oh, okay, it looks like we might be live. Let's go ahead and give this a second to go. Yep. Okay, cool. So, it looks like this is live, which means if you want to hop on in the comments, I'll be taking a look, checking comments, going back and forth between, well, this screen where all the games are and the camera, as well as that screen over there. Hello, Richard. Good morning. How are you? Let me know if you have any issues hearing me or anything like that, because, I mean, if there's any issues with the technology, we'll find out as people comment things. Good morning, 11 Moolins. So here's the deal. This is me going over the top 21 games, top 21 games, the 2021 titles, all the various 2021 titles that have come out in the past year, and going over what I played, what I want to play, opinions, thoughts, and all that. I generally don't do a my best of 2021 right away. I like to give myself some time to play games. Like Ark Nova is a great example of a game that I feel I have to play before I do a best of 2021. So I could do a best of 2021 now and then update it later, but for right now I'm just going to go ahead and, well, go through this. I'm going to do this. We're going through going through the 2021 titles together with you. Comments, anything, you have any questions, all that stuff, by all means let me know. We'll go from there. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get this started. So let's switch to my screen over here. Hopefully, if everything goes well, you should see me adjusting. Let's see if this works, because I'm not seeing my screen adjust quite yet. Hopefully. Please tell me. There we go. Perfect. Okay, cool. Sorry, there's a little bit of a delay on the side. So what I'm going to be doing over here is I'm going into the BGG search. My words are tough. Advanced search over here. Once you click on advanced search, you can go ahead and go to 2021, which is what I'm doing. And then I'm filtering, for the sake of having less titles to go through, I'm filtering through, well, anything that has at least 100 ratings. That's what I want. I want a minimum of 100 ratings. And I want a minimum rating of 6.8. That sounds like a good number. I do 6.8 specifically because I find there are always a few games that hit that 6.9, 6.8 range that are actually worth looking at. Not necessarily worth getting. You do want to have filters on what you buy or what you get, considering how many games there are. But in fact, let's go ahead and show you this. If you don't use those filters, if you go ahead and just search for 2021 titles and you hit submit, what you'll see over here is you'll see that there are, okay, just waiting for it to load, there are a total of 50 pages. 50 pages worth of games. Now, Board Game Geek is 100 pages, 100 games per page, which means there's 5,000 titles. It could be a little less, 49, 87, whatever it is, but there's between 4,900 and 5,000 titles to go over. Or maybe it's 5,000 plus. Maybe it's 5,000 plus. Whatever it is, that's too many games. We're not going through 5,000 games, and most of them are not worth paying attention to. I don't mean that in a negative sense. I just mean, practically speaking, there's a lot of stuff that comes out and not a lot of stuff that's worth paying attention to. With 100 ratings, so 6.8 with 100 ratings, and this, suddenly we go anywhere from 6.8 to 10. We're not going to filter expansions because I actually want to go through some expansions, although for the most part, we're going to skip them as we talk about them. So, from there, if we hit submit, our 5,000 games suddenly gets dropped to 5 pages or 500 games. Beyond the Beer, howdy. I see your screen. Okay, good. You see my screen. I thought you said you don't see my screen, so that would not be good, because this entire stream is dependent upon you see my stream. Usually, what happens in these live videos, usually I do a webcam only. There's a whole different setup on the YouTube backend to do streaming software versus webcam, which means all the things that I think I'm confident on and know, I don't. So we do this instead. But anyways, let's go ahead and dive into it. Continue. So I'm going to go from the back to the front to keep it more interesting. Starting off the bat with, we have, let's see, my camera. I'm going to have to move my camera a bit because it's a little bit in the way, so give me a second here. Let's move that there. Let's adjust my camera a little bit over here. That ought to do it. Okay, great. So, switching a bit the angle. So, we have Marvel United. I'm not going to go over individual expansions like this. I only did not exclude expansions because I do want to see things like Lost Ruins of Arnak, Expedition Leader, stuff like that. Like notable expansions I want to pay attention to. Others I don't. And to that end, I'm mostly going to skip past anything that I don't really consider a 2021 title. For instance, these Dice Stone Season 1 Rerolled, not really 2021, it's a variation of it that came out. Once you filter out all of those, your 500 titles drop down to even closer to like 350 or so, which we'll be going through. Hi guys, Patriozo. What is this about? I rate a lot of games as usual. This is top 2021 titles, just going over everything. We have Richard, felt like 25% of the releases happened in December. To a certain extent, it does, especially considering I haven't played a lot of the ones that I do want to play. But scrolling up, going to something, the first interesting thing will be, wow, these are really just not a lot. Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team, haven't played, no, not on my radar at all. For myself, I'm going to be focusing on things that I either have played, own, or want to get my hands on. I'm going to be skipping through almost everything else. Plata, no, never even heard of. La Mirada Maldita, never heard of. My Gold Mine, never even heard of these. Some of these games, like the problem with filtering to 6.8 and above is you do end up with a lot of stuff that are just not that, worth paying attention to. Exit the Game. In general, the Exit the Game series, I plan on going through more when I plan on going through the Exit the Game series more when I finish with the Unlock series. So we'll go from there. Then let's scroll down to the bottom over here and keep going. We have Marvel United, more Marvel United. We have Vol Verflant, Don't Get God. None of these things, again, most things are not new. Echoes the Dancer, not much to talk about there. Yummy Yummy Monster Tummy. So Yummy Yummy Monster Tummy is an interesting one. My kids love it. I saw the Dice Tower. Tom gave it a seal of excellence, which good for them. I did not like it at all. Don't like it. Actively don't like it. I'm playing it with my children because they enjoy it. I find it's basically a combination of holding up cards to a bad QR code reader, and this might be a phone issue, but I find like I have to wave my cards in front of the screen to make it work and register, which isn't the best experience. And then combine that with the fact that it's color matching. You're trying to pair up colors to feed the monsters. My kids enjoy it, absolutely, but I can't. I mean, I'll play it with them. I'm 20 plays deep with it, but it's not something I love. It's something I'm okay with. We have Randall. Crazy that almost 5,000 games come out last year. Absolutely, Randall. This is one of those things where I have a video coming on this, coming out shortly at some point. Something along the lines of don't buy games based on my reviews. The idea being, we have 5,000 games coming out a year. It's worth kind of finding filters that work for you. Filters that exclude a ton of the extra stuff that you don't need. Because even a basic filter to 6.8 drops it to 500 games. That's like, 90% of the games are just not worth paying attention to. Does it mean that you'll miss some hidden gems? Yes, but otherwise, how do you find those hidden gems? It's a hard thing to go through. Sleeping Gods, I'm going to ignore this because we'll talk about the big one when it comes out. Same with Merchant's Cove, nothing to talk about here. These are all the extras. Wow. Kemet Blood and Sand. I think we have the Kickstarter coming, so we'll talk about that. We have Combo Polis. Nope, that's going to talk about soon. Again, these are all mostly expansions. Micro Dojo. Just reviewed Micro Dojo. I think Micro Dojo is actually very solid for the cost and size, but that's not criteria that I particularly care about or value when I'm going through these games, so it's okay for me, not amazing. Camelot, never heard of. Hashi, never heard of. It's like, I do a lot of stuff in this general space. You'd think to a degree that I'd heard of more of these. I don't know if it's a fault on me or a fault on the games. 60-Second City, never heard of. Raccoon Tycoon, that's a deluxe edition. We're skipping anything that's a deluxe editions. Ensemble, never heard of. Looks cool. What is Ensemble? Let's go ahead and open this one up. Let's see what Ensemble is, because that one is 7.5. What is this game? I don't know what this is at all. It's a musical. This is interesting. I have never heard of this one. It looks intriguing. We have 100 ratings, so I filter for anything with 100 ratings. Looks intriguing. I'm going to keep that open in a new tab so I can take a look at it. Okay, Ghost Zone, your channel is awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. We have, let's see. We have Richard. We love the X series. Played most. I plan on getting to the X series eventually. I just like Unlock more. Nicole, 5K is crazy. Yes. Mystery Millers, this is a new feature. I don't know what you're referring to. If you're referring to the advanced search, you could just go over here to the advanced search and search for it. I've been using it for years, so if it's new, it's not that new. Lorenzo, I don't want to talk about Lorenzo right now, but I'm really enjoying it with the expansion. For those who know, pay attention enough to the channel, I actually got rid of it at one point, but I got it back with the expansion, and I'm liking it a lot more. Harsh Shadows, another one, never really heard of this one. I think I have heard of this one, actually. I've heard of this one, but that's it. 7.5, this is a solo game. Yep, I remember seeing this on Kickstarter at one point. I'm going to keep this open. I haven't dove into this one. It's not currently on my radar. I might add it to my wish list. We have The Road. The Road is supposed to be a fun solo game. Haven't played it myself, but an 8.1, that's a big deal. This is from Alone Editions, Yosef Fari. They do a lot of, he has another one, he has the Samurai one, but this is supposed to be really well rated. I'll put it up in my side tab. Gravwell, this is a second edition between Two Castles and Expansion, Hunting Mining Colony, Block Ness. Block Ness, I've seen this one. This looks like a fun little toy game. Haven't played it, 6.9, that doesn't bode well. The idea, the concept of this one looks intriguing, but I'm not going to pick it up based on the rating, unfortunately, so I can close that out and go back to the list. We have All-Star Draft. All-Star Draft is interesting. I think Dice Tower put this on their top 10 surprises. I remember seeing this at one point. This is an intriguing one that I think they had some rules fiddliness issues or something, but they really enjoyed it past that. Not one that calls to me. The sports theme alone is enough to often push me away from a game. Not saying I don't have sports games, but it usually pushes me away, and I have to have enough people telling me it's worth paying attention to. We have a little Wardy. We have Mass Transit. Mass Transit is excellent. I really like that one. A solid 3.5 out of 5 for me. I really enjoy the solo puzzle. It's actually cooperative or solo, but I really enjoy the puzzly nature of it. We have Art Robbery, which I think I actually have this. This is a Reina Knizia title. I have this on my shelf behind me on my stuff to review. Plan on diving into this one. Anything by Reina Knizia and from Helvetique, I want to pay attention to it, but don't know much about it just yet. Have not played it yet. We have Twinkle. This was a Kickstarter, I believe. I remember seeing Rado cover this one. You have these stars, like these little star maps you're playing out. This is landed, people. 138 rating. That's a big deal. Not that interested in myself, not compelling to me, but, you know, just going through these all. We'll get to the interesting things later, so if you want the interesting things and you don't want to sit through all this and you can't skip ahead to the video, because even though I timestamp, if you're watching this live, it's not going to help you, then you can come back in like 15-20 minutes. Ecos New Horizon. That's the expansion to Ecos, but I really like Ecos. I just reviewed the game and the expansion. Fantastic Factories, expansion there. I reviewed the original. I didn't review the original game. That's not true. I played the original game. I got rid of it. I liked it, didn't love it. Die of the Dead. This is a Kickstarter. It never really pulled to me personally. Castle Party. This is from Devere Games. It's a little polyomino game where you're basically, well, laying out polyominoes with the roll my system as well. Didn't particularly work for me. I thought it was fine, but didn't do anything interesting or innovative, at least to myself. Momiji. Momiji is, assuming I pronounced that at all correctly, this is one I definitely want to pick up. I remember seeing it on Kickstarter. I didn't back it on Kickstarter, but just price point versus the extra I was getting, but it's definitely one I'm interested in. I'll be keeping this up in the games I want to try. Subtext is one I actually have. I hope to play that one. Arcana Rising. This is one that I've heard mixed things as well. A lot of people like it compared to Seven Wonders. It's one that I ended up passing on, just trying to have shelf control. I was very interested. I had an active pledge at one point. I might pick it up. This is one of those things, again, it's the filters. Airland and Sea, Critters at War. This is one that's really solid. I love Airland and Sea. This version's solid. Super Mega Lucky Box. This one I want to try. I want to try this one. I don't know much about it right now. I know it's from Phil Walker Harding, and it just looks like a kind of game that could be fun from Game Right, which is always interesting in and of itself, but I hope to try that one. We have City Builder, Ancient World. Don't know much about it. Bella Magica. Don't know anything about it. Surrealist Dinner Party. I have this one. Need to play it. I've heard good things as well in general. 6.9 is not the best. I'll try this one out. I'll see. I already have it, so we'll see what happens. Night Parade of 100 Yokai. I heard things that the rulebook on this was a little messy, but a 7.9, that is... I need to pick this one up. Did I backed the Kickstarter for his newest game. Maybe I can pick Night Parade up in there. We'll see. Death Valley. That is annoying. Death Valley, if I'm not mistaken, is a Kickstarter that I accidentally missed from Button Shy. I thought I backed this, but apparently not. So I have to go take a look at this one. I think I missed the Kickstarter. People are showing up for people, and I don't have mine, which either means, I don't know. I'm going to go check my tracking. I may or may not have backed it. I thought I did, but I don't have it, and other people do. Moonshine Empire, never really looked into. Stop the Train is on Kickstarter, never looked into the game. I wonder how it's rated right now. Let's see. I'm just keeping a ton of tabs open right now. Stop the Train, 7.2. Not bad. There's a little bit of a negotiation. I think it's Hidden Roll, if I'm not mistaken. We have Trader Game. Yep, Trader Game. Yep, but it's one that's on Kickstarter. I remember seeing it then. Let's see. Any comments over here? Do you know what the lowest ranked game is in your collection? So it's probably Besieged. If I'm looking at, in general, I think that the ones that were the lowest ranked games in my collection were Terra Nova and Besieged. Terra Nova since left because I actually think that Ragnarok's from Grey Fox Games gives me the same feeling but preferred. And Besieged I still own. It might leave at some point, but those are the two games that are under 7s, that are solidly under 7s. I think Besieged is like a 6.6 maybe, but I mean, I am playing with house rules. That's a factor, but nonetheless, the Besieged and Turnover past tense were the lowest games in my collection. Expansions. Rurik Stone and Blade, great expansion. Great expansion for a great game. For the King and Me, I don't know anything about this title. Okay, we're in the top 300 now. Top 300 of 2021. We're moving into there. For the King and Me, Steve Finn Yellow? Wow. Okay, I'll have to pick this up. I know nothing about this game. Nothing about this. Okay, let's scroll down here. Dream Crush. No real interest from that. Groundhog Day of the game. Don't know much about it. I remember seeing Tom had a review. Tom for the Dice Tower had a review where he kept on resetting it. Don't know about the game past that. Dollars to Donuts. Looks intriguing. I've seen this. I remember seeing this in Kickstarter. Had an aspect of lining up donuts. You could overlay things. Looked messy and intriguing. A 7.3 from Crafty Games. It's enough to have me intrigued and keep it open and add it to my wish list. Relics of Rajah Power. I passed on the first Kickstarter, back the second Kickstarter. Have still not played it, but I remember I was watching Jeremy Howard play it on a live stream, and the reason I backed the game is I got to a point where watching Jeremy Howard play it, it's a little puzzly game of trying to like move blocks around so you can achieve your goal, and I was trying to solve it along with him. I was like, oh no, you gotta move that there, do this, and when I realized I was playing the game while watching him play the game, I had to pick it up. We have Who Goes There, second edition, Night of the Ninja. This is one of the games I want to try. I want to try this one. 7.3, Brotherwise Games. Supposedly the art's amazing. I'm intrigued by the game. We'll have to give it a shot. Runes Deathbinder. What is this? This is like, oh, this one. This is the one that's supposed to be Slay the Spire reminiscent. They even had a promo in it, right? I remember seeing this on Kickstarter. I'll have to check it out. See, I mean, again, in general, there are so many games coming out that I have to apply filters. So many of the things I'm opening up in new tabs are things I'm going to look into further. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to be able to play all of them. Lost City's Roll and Write, I thought that was okay, but I think Lost City's just a better game. I don't see the reason to play the Roll and Write. I think some person said if you want to play the Lost Cities with more than 2, I got a comment to my video about that, and that's fair. That's a fair answer. Doom Machine was okay. Little solo game. I thought it was okay, but did not particularly amaze me. Pandemic Hot Zone. I haven't really been getting any of these Hot Zone games. Maybe I should. I don't know. I haven't really been getting much of the Pandemic offshoots these days. I just started Pandemic Legacy Season 0, though. We have the Rival Networks. This is the Networks for 2. I played the original of the Networks, enjoyed it, but didn't love it. Azul Pavilion. In general, Azul, I played the first one and the second one. That's it. Ugly Griffin Inn is fun. I like it. Little solo game from Button Shy Games and Steve Alms. I thought Ugly Griffin Inn was fun. I think it'll leave my collection eventually, but we'll see. Pandemane, Traditional Farmer's Bread, don't know much about it. Winter Queen, this is being published by 25th Century, but the publisher is a German publisher, Crowd D Games, Russian publisher. 6.8, I'm going to close that down right away. That's not enough to pay attention to. Explorers, what is Explorers? Don't know anything about this one. 7.3, 7.3 with whatever's happening over here. I don't know what's happening on Explorers, but I am 100% paying attention to this one. This is going to stay open on a new tab. I don't know what's going on here. This is a you and your other explorer place 4 landscape tiles. Roll and write paper and pencil. I am checking this one out. We'll find out whatever happens over there. Okay, let's keep going in the comments for a second. Let's see. Lowest ranked games. We have Nicole. I agree. 5,000 games is crazy. Nicole, my Kickstarter buys seem more reasonable looking at all these titles. Yes, it does. There's so many games. It's absolutely insane. We have Dominic Lorenz, you need to play It's a Wonderful Kingdom and Caper Europe. I have It's a Wonderful Kingdom coming. I have played the original Caper. I liked but did not love it. I'm happy to try Caper Europe and see. We have Gramtastic. Good morning, Alex and Borg & Co. Good morning, sir. We have Richard, For the King and Me as a Redux of Biblios. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay, fine. That's interesting. Where do I have For the King and Me? That makes sense why it's Steve Finn. That's really? That's Biblios? That's interesting. I see that now. I can see how that is. Okay, well, we're gonna close that out now. Nothing against Biblios. I always liked Biblios, but I already played it and moved on from it. We have what titles, Matt? Good to see you. We enjoyed Rival Networks. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, Umbravia. Umbravia is one that I didn't see a lot of buzz about from. I didn't see a lot of buzz about from Pandasaurus Games. At a 6.8, we're going to close that tab. Again, I like seeing what the 6.8 titles are, but most of the time I'm not going to actually get them. We have Lisdom Tramps at 28. Shelfie Stacker. This is one that I passed on Kickstarter, 7.3. A lot of these feel about right in the 7.3 range, but I like 7.3s. I like trying them. Some of them stick, some of them don't, but I do enjoy. There's a lot of 7.3 games out there, and even just the theme alone of Shelfie Stacker, that might be intriguing. I still want to try it out. Tyrants of the Underdark, the board game. This is technically a reprint of the original, so I'm not going to go into it. Flurifus. I need to track this down. I thought I backed this one. 7.8. Wow, okay, I need to track down Flurifus. I thought I backed this one. Maybe I had a $1 pledge and never upgraded. I don't know, I'll take a look. But it looks like it's delivering, and in general, I like these games from Steve Finn, from Pencil First Games. We have Friticola, not going to look into that. Mining Colony. This is another Steve Finn game, isn't it? Yeah, Steve Finn. This is part of a 4-part Kickstarter. I'm not going to dive into this one. I have too many tabs open already. We have Mobile Markets. I do plan on trying that one out. This is rated pretty decently, I've seen. 7.5. I'll have to try this out. This is re-implements Smartphone Inc., but not really a true re-implementation. The Last Bottle of Rum. This is another one. There's a lot of... There are so many 2021 games I have not played. I'm realizing this is not good. I played a lot of 2022 games, apparently, because I'm covering Kickstarters, so that happens. We have Moon Adventure. We'll pass that. Chronicles of Evil. Don't know this one at all. Hopefully soon we'll... Whoa, an 8.5! An 8.5 with 135 ratings. Wow. I have not played this at all. This looks very, very pretty. Okay, cool. This is staying up in a new tab. An 8.5, that I'm definitely paying attention to. We have Gosha. I never really saw the appeal of that one personally. Didn't pull me in. Pachacuna was okay, but didn't pull me in. Zoography. Zoography is one that I want to look at just because pretty animals and the zoo theme. Hibachi. That's another one that I've heard mixed things about, but I'll take a look at. Reaplin Safratino. We have The Specialist. That one didn't compel me as much. I think it's decently rated. Crash Octopus is a dexterity game. Dexterity games I rarely pull up. A G.I. Joe deck building game. Don't care about the theme, so I'm not even going to look at it. The Curators. I remember seeing this on Kickstarter. What's it rated? 7.1. That's intriguing. The mechanics of the game seem intriguing. I'll hopefully pick that up. We'll see. We have Gladius. I wanted to pick up. This is from the same company that does, what's it called? It does, no, not, what's the one more? Is it from Deepwater Games? They do Fantastic Factories. I want to pick up Gladius. I'm curious about this one. I don't know much about it. The art looks cool. 7.4 is good enough. That's another one of the things. The different these bars. I find 7.3 versus 7.4. That's a big gap for me, I find. We have the Belgian beer race. I'm curious what this one's rated. There's too many tabs open. 7.6. That's pretty good. Pretty good. I believe that who's distributing this one? Oh my gosh, the company that's distributing this one is, I'm blanking on the name. I'll look it up. We have Riverside, which is a roll and write game that I need to pick up from Chili Fox Games. 7.3, but on a roll and write genre. I'm curious about this one. Eventually, we'll get to more that we played. Art Travels. Played Art Travels. Should have a review of this one coming soon. Ooh, I'll add this. Maybe I'll review this one in a few. Maybe I'll do that one soon. Okay, we have, let's see. Still waiting for Tenaris Adventures. We have, just looking at comments, Michael Smallwood. Good morning, Alex. Good morning. Street Masters. Bought Shelfie Stackers. The game is too meta not to play. I agree. So that's the way I feel about Shelfie Stackers. Even the theme alone I'm intrigued by. We have Street Fighter's miniature games. We have Beyond the Bear. I definitely need to grab Floriferous. Yep, I want to try the one. And I remember looking at the Kickstarter. The mechanics of Floriferous did appeal to me. Richard O. The Dice Tower said mobile markets is more complex than Smartphone Inc. That's not good. Nicole, Kingdom Origins. Wool and Silent. That thumbnail thing has gone too far. I don't know what that means. We have Mr. Scronge on 7.3, trash. 7.4, pure treasure. Maybe. Some games, yes. Subastral. I've heard mixed things about this one as well. I do want to try this one out. 7.5, though. That is not nothing to sniff at. We'll take a look at that one at some point. Arkham Horror, never a game for me. Unmatched, not a game for me. Set and Watch. I need to get the Swords of the Coin. I already have the original. I need to get that. Brick and Mortar, I've heard good things about. What's it rated? 7.7. That is good. That's a game about opening up stores. That is one I'll have to open up. I'll have to keep this open on an open tab. We're getting too many open tabs. Drawn to Adventure was okay. Eventually I got rid of it, but I did enjoy it. Quest I liked. We have Force Science. Force Science I have not played. Need to pick this one up. We have 7.4 from Grey Fox Games, but thematically alone, my wife will kill me if I don't get it. Stella from the Dixit universe. I'm curious what it's rated. I think Dice Tower just did a 4 Squares review of this one. I don't know what the ratings were, but anything in the Dixit style of gameplay I enjoy. Small Railroad Empires. Haven't played this one from Arcona Games. We have Railroad Inc. All the new Railroad Inc. I'm really enjoying. Wishland. Should I pay attention to that one? 7.6. That's not bad. Okay, Wishland's staying open on my computer. We have Fairy Tale Inn. Fairy Tale Inn, I liked it, but got rid of it. Aqua Garden, I've also been hearing good things about. 7.4, worth paying attention to, because 7.4 is where the good games start. Okay, Quest. So Quest is over here. I'm really enjoying Quest. I dove into Quest. I like it a lot. I don't think it's going to make my top games of 2021, but it's definitely a good game. Cape of Europe is going to be added to my must-play list. Sheepy Time was fun, but eventually I moved on from it. I found it was a push-your-luck game, and I prefer others. The Deadeye, I've heard, is interesting. I saw this in Kickstarter, thought it was very gimmicky, but a 7.7 is not bad, and I've heard that the gimmicky holds up. Nanga Parabot, that's another one of the Steve Finn games. Tribune is a re-implementation of Tribune, which I love. Smash Up I never liked. 10 I just played. I'm going to have a review up on the channel. I think it's good. I don't think it's a keeper for me, but I think it is good. Transformers, a deck building game. Haven't played this one. Heard that it was a letdown for some people. Tutankhamun from 20th Century Games, a reprint of the original. Not really interested enough to pick this up. Savannah Park. What about this one? What about we know about this one? 7.2. That's not great, but also I like the theme. I'll try it out. Alien Something Shiny. How is that being rated? That is an 8.2. Maybe I need to pick this up. I remember when this was on Kickstarter, I passed on it. I'm having second thoughts. On the Rocks. It doesn't compel me thematically, but maybe I'll pick it up. 7.4. There's a lot of tabs. There are too many tabs here. Fast and Furious. I've heard good things, surprisingly. I wrote this one off, but a 7.2. Do I try it? Funko Games. I've heard it was pretty decent. So Clover. I need to pick up that one. That is absolutely, I talked about the Jeremy Howard. Land vs. Sea is one that I really enjoy. That's a 4 out of 5 for me. Really like Land vs. Sea. Taverns of Tiefenthal is an expansion, but I got rid of Taverns of Tiefenthal. Rolling Witchcraft, I have, but have not played it yet. That Time You Killed Me is on my list of games to get from 2021 from Pandasaurus Games. Galaxy Hunters, I played the prototype. Did not love it, unfortunately. Kingdom Origins, Kingdom I find is a good series, but not enough for me to keep. War Chest Siege, I have this, but I need to dive into the full War Chest universe again. Ignite, I have, but haven't played the physical copy. I've only played on TTS. I need to get a play in because I know Dice Tower was very harsh to it, and I want to see. I want to give a review out just because I think it's a different opinion is nice to have, and I know I liked it. I understand some of Dice Tower's critiques, but there were a lot of critiques, and I do not agree with a 4 rating from Tom. It's his rating. He can do what he wants. Tumbledown. Intriguing dice stacking. Don't know much about it, but intriguing. Let's take a look at the comments. Okay. Matt Weir's Florence shipping details should be announced soon. We have no release date for transmissions. We have Ayla and Something Shiny has not fulfilled in the US. Okay, that makes sense. We're starting to see how only Dice Tower can cover all these games. Way too many for one person. Richard, that's what I'm talking about. There are 500 games that come out a year that are worth paying attention to. 5,000 total, but 500 that are already worth looking at. I can review, how many games can I possibly review? I mean, the truth is I do put out like 4 or 5 reviews a week, But like half of that, I mean, that's not enough though. That's still not enough to in any way keep up. And I'm covering future games. See, what I hope will happen is, for me, is that I hope I'll eventually get to a point where the future games I'm covering, because Prototype, will make the current games easier to get through. But I apply filters. I try to only cover things that I'm interested in. I mean, even from this, I'm ignoring half these. If we have 500 games, right? From those 500 games, I'm going to open up maybe 100 tabs. From those 100 tabs, I'm going to whittle them down to 50, and those are the 50 games I'm going to try to seek out in 2021 to additionally cover and review and play, and then from there, see how 2021 fared. And that's not even talking about the backlog. There are too many games. It's not okay. We have Settlement. Settlement is a 7.4. I'm intrigued by that one. I remember hearing this when it first came out. Looks pretty, and a 7.4. I will pay attention to it. Devil May Cry, The Bloody Palace. Is this an expansion or the base game? This is a base game. Steamforged. Wow. An 8.0. Only 112 ratings, but I have been surprised by Steamforged games more and more. So I remember covering the Kickstarter. I said, don't back it. It's Steamforged games, but more and more I'm intrigued. Unforgiven. Unforgiven, I'm not intrigued by it enough to even pick it up or even open it. I know it's supposed to be a good game, not my type. Great Plains is really good, though. I really like Great Plains. I'll have to give a review of that at some point. Millennium Blades is a game that I should pick up, but I haven't yet. The Whatnot Cabinet. I think I have a playthrough on the channel of this one. I'm 99% sure I do. I really enjoyed this. This is one of the pencil first games that I like. Shiver Me Timbers. I've heard Jeremy Howard saying good things about this one. Shiver Me Timbers. I mean, this is from... Wow, who's this even from? Welfland Vlerlag. Wow. An 8.2. This I have to pick up. Jeremy Howard says it's the best party game he ever played. Okay, up to 200 games. Top 200 now, okay? This video is going to be longer than I thought it was, but that's because there's like 500 games to go through. Voyages. Okay, Voyages, I actually just got this. There's a print and play. I'll have to dive into the one and see how it is. Lost News of Arnak, The Search for Professor Kuto, as I believe their solo game. I plan on diving into that. Right now I'm going through their expansion as is. Shadow Kingdoms of Valyria. Good game. Solid game. It's not going to be my best of 2021, but I don't think it will be, but it's a really good game. Machikoro 2. I might get my hands on this. I actually don't love Machikoro. I prefer I prefer Card Kingdoms of Valyria, but I find that my daughter likes Machikoro, so I might get it for her. Fantasy Realms, I never picked up. I didn't like Red Rising enough to pick it up. Agropolis, I enjoyed, but it's basically just more Sprawlopolis. Chronicles of Crime 2500. I actually have this one, plan on diving into it, seeing if it's better than Chronicles of Crime for me. I'm probably going to go in solo. We have Crime City, Macro Crime City Full House. I actually just got this. I really like Macro, so this is a solid contender. More Chronicles of Crime. Dark Ages, not compelled enough to pull it to go dive into it. Glenmore Highland Games. I have the expansion. I need to dive into it. Cape May. I've heard good things about Cape May. I've heard good things. 7.4, that's enough for me to pay attention. Thunderworks Games, I'll have to try it. Wonder Book, I think just came out, right? 116 ratings, a 7.7. I have to take a look at that. I have to take a look. This is supposed to be very pretty looking. These are all being added to. I mean, I have to go through all of them and see. Veil Wraith, that is... What are we doing here? An 8.0, wow. From Tristan Hall. Wow, okay, fine. Veil Wraith is being added to my list, apparently. Magnet the First City. I've seen a lot of things around this. I haven't actually looked into it at all yet. A 7.9. That is not bad. That is not bad. Okay, fine. Embarcadero, not intrigued enough by the theme, maybe. Twisted Fables, I played. I thought it was good, but not great. Steam Watchers, again, good but not great. Area Control, but not my genre. Tsukunami Full Dawn, I have to see whether I want to get this. Jeremy Howard says it's a top 10 disappointments. Still a 7.6. This is a re-implementation. I think they had production issues, so I don't know. Intrepid, what is this? Oh, I remember this one. This is on Kickstarter from Jeff Beck. This was Forest Games. This is a survival game, a simultaneous play. Very intrigued. I'll have to look into it, add it to my list. We have Wildlands. I never really kept Wildlands. Catapult Feud, I've played. I'll review it at some point with my daughter. Garinto, I have a review coming on this one soon. I've actually been waiting on this one because I knew I liked Garinto, but I want to play the 4-player team variant of it, which I've heard was good. And so I finally got some plays of that in, so I will be reviewing this shortly. Jekyll versus Hyde. Have not looked into this one at all. What is this? 7.3. Mandu Games. Intriguing. Looks like it could be a fun game. We'll check it out. We'll see. We have Living Force. What is this one? What is Living Force? 7.5. Looks pretty. It looks pretty. Okay, fine. Interesting. See, inherently, I'm spending more time on games that I don't know than games I do know, because games I do know, I'm not going to click into. Llamaland. I plan on picking this one up as well from Phil Walker Harding. This is Lookout Games. I mean, just the general nature of anything that's doing this, I'm intrigued by, at least intrigued enough to check it out. Combined with a 7.5. Have not played it yet. Sanctuary. I have not played this one or heard of it. A 7.6, though. A 7.6 on a 2-player game from Tabula Games. This is intriguing. I may have to pick this one up. We'll see. This is way too many games. Streets, I have to pick it up. Oh, Lines of Lydia. I need to try it out. Streets as well. Lines of Lydia is from what's it called? Johnny Pack, 7.1. That's okay. It's intriguing. I might try it. We'll see. And then from there we have Streets from Sinister Fish Games. I want to pick this one up. I skipped on the Kickstarter. We have Western Legends Blood Money, Carcassonne, Mini Express. This was a Kickstarter that I thought I backed this one. Did I not back Mini Express? Huh. I thought I backed this. 7.3. I'm intrigued. I remember seeing the Kickstarter. Maybe I was smart and didn't back it. Dice Miner. An initial middling review from Tom, but a lot of people have been enjoying this one. I was talking to Thinker Themer. They played it. They've been enjoying it, so we'll see. We have Star Trek Alliance. We have Cocopelli. I like Cocopelli. It's a Stefan Feld game that does not feel like a Stefan Feld game, but I really enjoyed it. Successors, not much of interest, but Botanic. I remember seeing this one on Kickstarter. 7.8. Wow. Whoa. Okay, maybe I have to try this one out. 7.8 is worth paying attention to. Jeez. Into Deep. I need to play this one. I played this one when I first was on Kickstarter, but I haven't played it since. Resident Evil 3. I need to review this one. Loving the system. I really like Resident Evil more, the newest one that's coming out. Mandala Stones. I have it. I need to play it. I need to dive into that one. Asonia was good. I still haven't reviewed it. I meant to review it when it first came out. I never got around to it. Asonia's a deck building game. I like it best at 2, but I've been enjoying it. Kabuto Sumo is not on my list of top games of 2021. I did not love it. I like the concept of it, did not like the game. Summer Camp I haven't seen much about. 7.4. This is interesting. This looks intriguing. I don't know what's going on here, but I mean, it looks like similar to Parks and what's happening here. I'll definitely look into it more. Let's see how the comments are doing. Okay, comments. Let's see. Scroll back up. 7.3. No release date. Signed seal on the Dice Tower. Do you play Northgard? Yes, Northgard is actually one of the first prototypes I covered on the channel. I thought it was good. I did not think it was great. Board & Co. So Clover is a great game. I plan on picking it up. Eck, was that a 2020 Kickstarter? Yes, Northgard was a 2020 Kickstarter. Was it 2019? I think it was 2020. Might have been 2019. Talking Cardboard, due to the pandemic, it feels like space-time paradox. So many game releases, the dates got jumbled, difficult to keep track of. There are so many games that I did not even realize here. It is shocking to me. In February, late February, okay, Scarface 1920. I mean, so Simone saying Scarface 1920. Scarface 1920 is not going to be a 2021 title. It's a great game. I really like it a lot. We'll talk about it more. Dominic Lorenz, have you played the new content of Super Fantasy Brawl? No, I'm sorry. There are so many games. I need to play them all. Mystery Miller, I don't pay attention to ratings because I don't know if the people who have rated it have the same opinion as myself. Mystery Miller, I agree with you. Here's the problem with that. If you don't pay attention to ratings, then you have 5,000 games that you need to look at. So I use ratings as a filter to then see if I'm interested myself. That's why I gave 6.8. That's a fairly low filter. That gives me 500 games. From those 500 games, I'm going to pop them all up and see which interest me. And from these, I'm getting like 100 plus links that I'll click through and look at. And then from those, I'll filter them down based on interest. I agree ratings will take you only so far. For me, ratings primarily serve as a filter because there's just otherwise too many games to look at. It's not that I agree with other people's ratings. It's that I need to whittle down 5,000 games a year. Okay, I definitely want to see your review on Ignite from Beyond the Beer. Absolutely. Simone really wants to see Scarface. Eck, what's your criteria for a 2021 game? For me, a 2021 game is just that if the Board Game Geek rating, the year says 2021, then it pops up over here. Otherwise, it does not. Richard, 2021 is the game that is released in the BGG listing. Exactly. Yep. Okay. Sean Pentecost, agree. Only looking forward to the Ignite review. I have it, but it's not clicking for me. Oh, Sean, interesting. So you're playing it, it's not clicking. I liked Ignite. I understand that there could be some complaints about balance or things like that, but I really enjoyed the game. I don't know what's clicking or not clicking. Richard L., something that Scarface will be a 2022 or 2023 game. That's correct. Beyond the Beer, I really enjoyed Tsukinami, though minis are poor quality. That's a potential problem, but gameplay over everything. Devin Norris, what's the biggest 2021 rulebook you read? I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I mean, generally the rulebooks that I read are in the longer range, are in the 50 to 60 page range generally. Sean Pentecost, Sanctuary isn't bad. Typical lame battle, but unique factions, okay. Richard L., Z really loves Botanic. Good to know. Jessica, hi Alex. Hey Jessica, how's it going? We have Joe Kuliski by How to Play. Hello, guys. Mr. Scronjon. Biggest rulebook, definitely not Sanctuary. It's tiny. Okay, cool. Let's go. Keep going. I'm all up to the comments. Caught up. Summer Camp. Dinosaur Island Warrenright. I need to play this one. Read the rules. Haven't dived into it yet. Master of the Night. Not really that interested. Bad Company. I need to grab this one. I keep hearing good things. Shamans. A good game, but not one that I ended up keeping. Juicy Fruits. Need to get this one eventually. Runation was a good game, but I like other area control games better. Did not keep this one. Free Ride. I haven't heard much about this one. I've seen this before from Friedman Fries. 7.2. I don't know. I'll look into it more. I don't think I'm going to pick it up. We have the Dark Summer, not much interest in anything war themed in general. Welcome to the Moon. This is the newest game in the Welcome to series at 8.2. I will definitely be picking that one up. We have Vampire the Masquerade, didn't pick that one up. Canopy 7.7. That is good enough to pay attention from Tim Eisner. I will be looking into that more. Mantis Falls, I just played that. I found Mantis Falls to be both very compelling and not for me at the same time. I may talk about it more in the future. I don't know. It wasn't my copy, so I don't know if I'm reviewing it. But it was good. I just thought it was too long till it got to the part that I really appreciated. So a good game, very intriguing concept. Whale Riders, what's this one getting rating wise? This is a Commander Knizia game, 7.1. I'm gonna skip on that one. And I wasn't interested enough in the Kickstarter for a 7.1 to compel me. Lizard Wizard, I played the original. I have not played my copy since it arrived. Funfair is a good game, not my top 10 of 2021 though. A Roll Camera, good game. Again, a little. I still wasn't sure on this one. I don't think I'm getting it because I have too many games that are good. I just think it's great. Mini Rogue, I did not appreciate. Ultra I really like actually. Ultra is a game that by all accounts I'm gonna my review of it, which I will have a review of it. It's gonna have warnings as to why it might not be for you, but I'm really enjoying it. It's a cooperative game with a little bit of a storytelling element, sort of, but kind of not like a full story, just incidental almost. But I really enjoy it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Mindbug, I'll have to pick that up at some point. That was on Kickstarter recently. Space Race was a game that did not work for me. Bristol 1350 was a game that did not work for me. Vienna Connection, I don't have any interest in this one based on what I saw about it. What is it, 6.9? 7.6, whoa, maybe I do pick this up. Maybe I leave that up and check into it more. Okay, Arena of the Contest, love that game. Teotihuacan, it's an expansion. Equinox, I thought Equinox was okay. I was not overly compelled by it. Again, like Mantis Falls, I liked what it's doing, but felt it took a little too long for the game that it is. Codex Naturalis, 7.2, but pretty art. I might have to look into this one more. I don't know what I'm doing to myself. This is homework. I'm literally, what you're watching me do is you're watching me put together my homework. Daimyo, I have this one and need to play it. Overboss, I like it. I'm keeping it because of my daughter though. For me, I drastically prefer Cascadia or Calico, or games that they very similar overlap in the feeling. My daughter liked Overboss enough that we're keeping it for now, but we either play it or we don't. Trails, I read the rules. I have not played it yet. Rift Force, really enjoy this one. Really enjoy this one, Capstone Games. I want more powers, which they will have expansions for, but I like it a lot. Paladins is an expansion, Concordia is an expansion, Cartographers Heroes, it's more cartographers, I like cartographers. Luna Capital, that might make its way to my best of 2021 if I were doing it today. I have to take a look. 2021 had some good games, but a lot of okay games. Steampunk Rally Fusion, I am debating picking this one up. I got rid of the original Steampunk Rally, but I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll open out a new tab, I might grab it. Flourish is a game that I actually have in my collection, but I expect that I will not be keeping it. We'll see. It's a drafting game, but didn't get a lot of positive feedback. Glow, I'm opening up. 7.4. Bombix has a bunch of titles here. Or are they just a distributor? I will keep Glow open. A 7.4 is enough to pay attention to. Night Cage is okay. Not loving it so far, but I want to play it solo. I think solo I'll actually enjoy it more. As a 4-player game, I did not love it. Grand Austria Hotel is an expansion. Azul Queen's Garden. I haven't tried the newest version. Is this an expansion or this is a re-implementation? This is the newest Azul. I have not played it yet. I should dive into the new Azuls. I should try them out. Imperium of Contention. That is a good game, by the way. Imperium of Contention is really good. I need to dive into it more. Like Ignite, I really want to just get it played and do a review of it. Uprising is a game that they have the Kickstarter. It's starting to deliver. I didn't love the original game when it first was on Kickstarter. It had cascading failure, the idea that as things go poorly for you, things get worse and worse. That's a mechanic that generally I have not kept at games that have that. Trickshot's interesting. I like Trickshot a lot. I don't know if it's going to stay long term. I don't know. I really like it when I play it, but I don't often pull it out to play. Then we have Seize the Bean, which I've never heard of at all. This looks fun. It's a coffee-themed game with a 7.7 rating. That is being picked up. Wow. I have too many tabs open. We have Batman, not for me. I played the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1 and did not love it, and so Batman's same idea. Corrosion, I might pick up. I've heard mixed things on it. 7.2, that's not enough. Nope, not enough for me. I'm not going to be picking this one up. I'm intrigued, just not intrigued enough. Sea of Legends, I've heard mixed things on the app. Not currently looking to pick it up. Imperial Steam, I think this is a Capstone game if I'm not mistaken. Is it a Capstone? Capstone Gain, 7.8. That's definitely staying open in a tab. 7.8 I'm paying attention to. The Goonies Never Say Die. That's highly rated. And Maharaja, which is a reprint. The Goonies, 7.5. I will keep this open. Wow, that is a game that I might pay attention to. I don't know about the theme at all. I don't have a cure for the Goonies, but a 7.5, I'll check it out. Maharaja, 6.9. We're going to close that back down. That's a re-implementation, and now we're in the top 100. Finally. Okay, 40 minutes in. We're in the top 100. Let's take a look at the comments before we go through things. This is where we'll find most of the games that are likely to make my top 10 of 2021. Okay, where are we? Sanctuary's pretty good. Zelos Botanic. Dominic's, Richard, Devin Norris. Timestamp! I don't have a cup where I drink, okay? Jessica, Master Scranjon, Mine's Falling Apart. Roll Camera together with Roll and Write, my biggest surprise of the year. Roll Camera is good. I enjoyed it, but not totally compelled. But Dinosaur Island, Roll and Write, hoping to play sooner rather than later. How is it sorted? Brian, how is it sorted? It looks all over the place. I believe it's sorted by rank by default. In general, Board Game Geek sorts by rank. I didn't override that, so it's probably sorted by rank. Rank in general, by the way, is a combination of ratings, and it's a combination of the number of ratings and the the height of the ratings effectively. So a game that's rated a 10 with 1 rating is very low ranked. A game that's rated a 7.7 with 10,000 ratings will be higher ranked. It's basically a way of trying to combine a good game with popularity, because if 10 people gave a game a 10 out of 10, it could just be your family members. Devin Norris, going out on the dredge of the overnight snow with the kiddos. Have a good live chat, Alex. Devin, how dare you abandon me like that? Beyond the Beer, I didn't love Equinox. I agree with you. I thought it was compelling. I liked the race element. It just was a little too long for what I want. Mr. Scronjon, love Cascadia, top 3 of 2021. Cascadia is absolutely, no question, in my top 10 of 2021, even though I plan on playing more of these before I officially rate them. We have Justin Harrison, played Glow last night, gorgeous and interesting, good to know. We have Mr. Scronjon, finally got Uthia Sword last night. I have Uthia coming, I have not played it yet. Richard L. seen a few channels call Azul Queen's Garden the best of the Azuls. That's fair, but I also saw a lot of people called the Stained Glass of Sintra. A lot of people think that's the better Azul, and I don't think it's even close. So I'll try Queen's Garden, but I'm holding strong for the original Azul. Night Cage was good at 2, but better solo. That was my feeling after playing the Night Cage. I thought that I would really enjoy it as a solo puzzle. As a 4-player game, when I played it, it felt like there were 3 more people at the table than needed to be there. So I want to play the Night Cage solo. It's not rated as best solo, but my feeling when I played it was, this will be a good solo game. Okay, we have, Brad Sanderson, Corrosion and Imperial are both capstone. Yes, I know, Corrosion less interested, Imperial very interested. Mesloff, you're ready, busy schedule, getting busier. Stay healthy, Alex, though hopefully you find a treasure. I am always looking for new games. It's fun. I enjoy the search, but I also play games I love. Most games I play, a majority of the games I play are games that I already know and love. I just don't talk with them as much because they're not the new hotness. Goonies game is following the story of the movie, seemed very disappointing to me. 7.5 is decent, but combined with me not being interested in the theme, it may be one of the tabs that I close down. Brand Sanderson, I'd love to do one of these with you one time. Try to talk as fast as you. I think I can keep up. Brand, I'd love to see if you can keep up. I go too fast for my own good. Great content, helped me a lot to get through lockdowns. Keep up the good work. Appreciate it. Justin Harrison, definitely not sorted by rank, which you can see on the left. Definitely not sorted by rank. Oh, interesting. Then I don't know what it's sorted by at all. Michael Smallwood, for Science and Dexterity game, my kids love it. We adjust the times. Yeah, for the theme for Science, why I'm interested offhand. Okay, let's continue going. Arkwright the card game. What's it rated? That will determine if I'm interested enough. 7.3, not interested enough. Okay, we're going to go ahead and Shazan. I actually have Shazan. I need to play it. We have Witchstone. I've heard decent things about Witchstone. What's it rated? 7.8, yep, that's decent enough for me to mention. Oh, Jeremy Howard, that's who was playing it. That's who was playing Witchstone. Parks Nightfall, I plan on playing that. The Hunger, I want to pick this one up. I have like 100 open tabs, it's not good. The Hunger, I plan on picking this one up and seeing how it goes. Night of the Living Dead, not for me. Horrified, I got rid of the original, I'm not keeping this one. Gutenberg, haven't been compelled enough or heard good enough things. World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King, I'll have a review of this one up shortly. I think it's good, but not the best to me. Rolling Realms, that's a fun game. It's not going to be my top of 2021, but I really enjoyed the experience. Glory, a Game of Nights. Don't know much about this one. 7.8. That is compelling. That is compelling. I need to pay attention to a game that's 7.8. Okay, cool. We will keep that open. Cryo. I need to try the one. Have not tried it yet. Warhammer Quest, not that interesting to me. Bayonets and Tomahawks, not that interesting. Mind MGMT. This is absolutely making the best of 2021. There's not a question about that. Marvel United is not really eligible for me because I don't really consider it to be a new game. It's more of a re-implementation, so it's not going to make the list. Tinder's Trail. I played the original, loved it. Depending on how this one goes, I could see it making the list. Genotype. Just got in my copy. I'm curious how this one goes. It's definitely a contender for best of 2021 for me. Origins First Builders. What is this rated? 7.3. I'll keep it open and look into it more. We have Brian Burrow. I liked it, did not love it. Wild Ascent, definitely in my best games of 2021. We have Galaxy Trucker Galaxy Trucker, I love the original. This is a re-implementation. Burglar Bros 2, I like the original, not enough to get this one. Ultimate Railroads is the collection pack of new stuff. Lawyer Up, I'll have a review of it coming soon. Euthia, I have it coming. I'll check it out soon. Brew, what's this being rated? I might pick this one up. 7.2, but I am compelled by the art. I'm going to look into Brew more. Maglev Metro is a definite contender for best of 2021. I need to get a review of this out already. The Siege of Rundar is one that I have not picked up. I'm very interested in it. It's Reina Knizia. It's got deck building. It's got things that I think will work for me. It's got gorgeous art. I definitely want to pick it up. Titans, I need to play it. I read the rules. I read the entire rulebook and didn't play it. Imperium Legends is a game that did not work for me, sadly. The Pack series in general, I haven't really dived into that much. Seven Wonders Architects was good. A little light for me. It felt... I'm happy it exists, but it wasn't for me. I'm happy that a lot of people are enjoying it. Bullet is definitely a contender for best of 2021. Us is Assassin's Creed Brotherhood of Venice. Solid games. Dark Age is not compelled enough by, and Stroganoff I need to pick up. Stroganoff 7.4. I need to pick this one up from Game Brewer. Then we have Brazil Imperial. I haven't seen anyone talk about this one. Is that making the rounds at all? An 8.4. I've been interested in this one since I first heard about it. The art looks amazing, very compelled, but I haven't seen a way to get it. Messina 1347. That's the latest one from Vladimir Suchi. A 7.8. Definitely want to look this one up. We have Excavation Earth. I haven't played my copy yet. I do have it. PAX Renaissance. Again, the PAX series I haven't dived into yet. Adventure Tactics. I don't think it's going to make my best of 2021, but it's a good game. Tabanusi I need to get my hands on, but in general I'm behind on all those heavy Euro games. Tiny Epic Pirates. I still need to play my copy. Lost Dreams of Arnak. If I'm including expansions in best of 2021, this will make the list. I don't know if I'm going to include expansions. The Crew Mission Deep Sea. I'm going to have a review of that this week actually, but definitely a contender for the best of 2021 as well. Although again, like Marvel United, it's kind of more of a re-implementation, so I don't know. Maybe I'll cheat and throw on some of the extras that I don't want to count. Great Western Trail is a re-implementation. Seven Wars is a re-implementation. Dune, I have not played this particular version. Is this good? Why is it this high up here? 7.4. I'll take a look at this one. Gale Force 9. I'll take a look at this one. We'll see. The Initiative. I heard more mixed things in this one that I did not feel compelled enough. 7.7. No, I will look more into this one. With Sword and Sorcery, I like the original, but it's too much game. Korra was a good game, but when I got rid of. Final Girl is a solid game, very thematic, lots going on. I just reviewed this on the channel. Coffee Traders, Capstone Games, I need to talk to them. There are like 4 or 5 Capstone games I want to pick up, and anything coffee themed that's well rated is definitely on my list. We have Company of Heroes. I've heard good things about this one. I've heard good things about Company of Heroes. 8.8. Whoa, that is a problem. Okay, I'll have to look into that one. Mercado dos Boer. I actually got rid of my copy. I liked it, but didn't love it. Radlands. Definitely a contender for best of 2021. We'll see. Undaunted Reinforcements expansion. Rocketman. I've heard mixed things about. Not enough for me to pick this one up. A 7.0. Yeah, I've heard too many mixed things in Rocketman. Let's take a look at the chat and see how these are going. Okay, we have for science, we have Marvel United X-Men, not different enough. In general, I am hesitant to call any re-implementation a best of for best 2021. That's true for the Crew as well. I don't mind throwing it into like special mentions or something like that. It's the same system. So do I want to give a spot to something like that? I mean, maybe, it depends. It would almost be, if I did top 10 expansions of 2021, they'd easily go there, even though it's not an expansion, it's a re-implementation. Maybe I'll do a top 10 expansions and re-implementations of 2021. Maybe I'll do a video of that. But again, the 2021's best ofs, I wait till I'm halfway through 2022. I need myself time. Not to play everything, but to play more of the stuff. Then we have Marvel United. Brew is supposed to be mean, so very interested. I do like mean games, so we'll see. I really love Brew, nice little game. Random question, what's your favorite animal? Is it a duck? I don't have a favorite animal. If I had to choose something, it would likely be in the, like, some sort of cat, tiger, I don't know, maybe. I'm not such an animal person, so I don't really have a favorite animal. Man of the Meeple. Brew is one of the nastiest games you'll ever play. Pure hateful, take that. That sounds amazing. I will have to get my hands on it. We have Brant Sanderson. This page is where it's at. It is. This is the page that actually matters. This is where all the top 10 of 2021s are going to be. So I don't know how it's being sorted by Board Game Geek, but it works for me. Anthony Schwartz. As a family game, hearing great things about the initiative. Good to know. Don Powers. When you get rid of games, what do you do with them? Online, local store, blow them up. Blow them up mostly. I find if the game's not good enough to keep, I don't think anyone should own it. No, but in all seriousness, usually if they first go onto Board Game Exchange, a Facebook group, where I try to sell them there, and then anything that doesn't sell there, I figure it out. Sometimes they go to Board Game Code, the business I run. Other times they go on eBay. Other times I gift them away. So we'll see. But yeah, starts with Board Game Exchange, where I try to sell them there. Let's continue going. Roleplay Adventures. Definitely one I have to get my hands on. Have heard good things. Dune Imperium. It's an expansion for Dune, which I like. I have to get that. Adventures of Robin Hood. Really enjoying it. It's a lighter game. It's one that I don't rate as highly, but I went through 8 games with my daughter, maybe 9. I have to check how many losses we had. But I went through the whole game with my daughter, and we're going to be playing the expansion, so it can't be that bad. After the Empire is a definite contender for top of 2021. Nemesis Lockdown, haven't got my hands on it yet, so we'll see. Unsettled, I need to play it. Alien Fate of Nostromo. I've heard this is going out of print, but what's it rated? That's the really question. 7.2. I don't know if I'm interested enough for 7.2 on this one. Okay. Dominant Species Marine. I just played Dominant Species, did not love it. The question is, do I play Dominant Species Marine or not? And by all accounts, I should have loved Dominant Species. I don't know why it didn't work for me. Wasteland 2nd Edition, I liked, did not love. Boon Lake, I have to pick up. I heard good things. Stardew Valley, I think I'm going to be picking it up. Meadow, I liked but did not love. Wasn't for me. Cubitos, that is a contender for top 2021 for me. It's one of the options. I think it might get pushed out as I play more, but if I were doing top 10 of 2021 right now, Cubitos would be on the list. Gollum, I need to play it in person. I played it online only so far. Chronicles of Dunegar, Age of Darkness, that is a contender for top 2021 as well. We'll see. Street Fighter the Miniatures game, have not picked this one up. I haven't really been interested about it. I don't know why. I never really played Street Fighters. 7.2, nope. Combined with a lack of interest in the theme, I'm not going to get that. Bitoku, I need to play that one. Furnace, that is a contender for top 2021 for sure. I really enjoy that one. Hadrian's Wall, fantastic game. That I imagine is going to hit top 21. I think that will outlast, anything else I throw at it. Solomon Kane, I have not played it yet. I need to add this to my list. Canvas, I might throw that on my best of 2021. We'll see. This is where we're getting to the fun stuff. Dinosaur World, have to play it, so I can't comment tonight. I own it. I just haven't played it yet. Terraform Mars Big Box, that's a big box, not a game. Zombicide 2nd Edition, left my collection. I enjoyed it, but I like other Zombicides better. The Great Wall, that is a contender for top of 2021 as well. We'll see how it goes. I don't know, but I really like the Great Wall. I really enjoy it. Clash of Cultures, I need to pick up the Monumental Edition. I played the original back in the day. I need to get the Monumental Edition already. Merchant's Cove, really enjoy it, but not a contender for 2021 for me. Unfathomable is the reimplementation of Battlestar Galactica. I see no reason to pick it up because I got rid of Battlestar Galactica, and if I was going to get Battlestar Galactica, I would get Battlestar Galactica again. Cascadia, this is absolutely a contender for top 2021. I imagine it will outlast whatever I throw at it. Destinies is a contender, but I need to play it more. It's been a while since I dove into it. Red Rising was a good game, but when I moved on from, Imperium Classics didn't work for me quite as much. Kemet Blood and Sand, I wouldn't, that's one of those ones where I throw it into like re-implementations or expansions or all that. Really enjoyed Kemet Blood and Sand, just reviewed on the channel yesterday, but one that is not going to stand as a 2021 title in theory. Arc Nova, definitely, I mean, this is a game that I need to get my hands on it, absolutely a contender, but I mean, just from what I heard about it, for people who like Terraforming Mars, you'll like Arc Nova, so that's definitely something I have to try. Aries Expedition, this is a contender for top of 2021, and this is one of those games I've had an interesting back and forth with it. I simultaneously put games, the Aries Expedition is a game that both goes on my biggest disappointments of 2021, while also being one of my favorite games of 2021, because it really, my expectations for it were so high, because I thought it was going to be an amazing game that can compete with Terraforming Mars for me. In reality, Terraforming Mars, the Ares Expedition did not make my top 100, but it's just outside my top 100. It's one of those games that was in my top 100, and I kind of moved it out and put other things in its place. But it's one that I really like, but is also a disappointment. Descent. I actually have this. I got my hands on a copy eventually. I don't know when I'll dive into it. I just got it on a Black Friday sale when it was on sale, and it's like, I'll try it at some point. Bloodborne did not work for me. And Ankh Gods of Egypt, that's definitely a contender for top 21. And Sleeping Gods, I need to get my hands on. Oath, I don't think Oath is a game I'm going to play. Unless somebody sits me down and plays it. Like Quackalope might do it, I don't know. But that is, I don't think it's a game I'm actually going to table. And that is everything. These are the 2021 titles. That's going through everything. I have something like 70 plus tabs open. It's a lot of games. I have like 70 plus tabs open to dive into to add to my homework assignment. That's in addition to the 2021 titles that I own and have not dived into. I don't know what I'm going to do. I need to play more games. I have a new challenge that I'm doing where I play a game every single game, a new game every single day. We'll see if it happens. I'll probably do a full video on that challenge at some point, but we'll talk about it. Let's catch up on the chat, and then we will call it a day. So, where are we on the chat? Okay, let's slide the chat over to the camera. No, you'd see that there. I'm sharing my screen. Let's go to the full screen. Okay, let's do that. Full screen over here. Great, now we're on full screen. That should work. Okay, perfect. Give it a second here, and then let's go to the chat. This page is where it's at. Have you been able to play Ark Nova? It's easily my #1 and jumped to my top 10 of all time. So, good question. I have not played Ark Nova yet. I want to. I'm asking Jeremy Howard to bring it. He's going to be visiting, so we'll see if he actually does. Angie Schwartz, as I found the game, hearing great things about the initiative. Good to know. We have Don Powers. When do you get rid of games? We talked about that already. Sean Pentacos, favorite animal has got to be a muskrat. No, Sean. That's Quackalope's favorite animal for me. It's not my favorite animal. Breeze Tree, did I miss stuff about Sleeping Gods? I just talked about Sleeping Gods because it was at the top of the list. I want to play it. I plan on getting my hands on it. We'll see. We have Eggland. We have 2 hard to pick top games. That's why you need categories. Also more video content. That's the problem. I have a video coming on this in general. You have to find filters. The filters could be ratings. It could be reviewers. It could be you only play games that your game group introduces you to. You need filters. It could be price point. But there's too many games to not have filters. I'm somebody that plays hundreds of unique games a year, and I can't keep up. I can't even imagine the people who play, 20 new games a year. How do you choose? I don't know how it happens. We have Mr. Scronjon. Alex has a video on selling games. I do. Glad to hear good things about After the Empire. Yes, Side Game LLC. There is. I like After the Empire. I need to play it again. I plan on doing a play this, not that, with the Great Wall, actually. Brian just picked up Stardew after watching a playthrough. I've heard good things. I need to try it. Charlie just picked up Hadrian's Wall. It's in the mail. Hadrian's Wall is delightful. My favorite roll and write ever, as of right now. We have Dan Brown. Yes for Furnace. We have Martine. Hi, Alex. I have one. We have Brian. Bloodborne is life. Not for me, it's not. For other people, it is. It wasn't for me. Side game. Charlie, you're going to love Hadrian's Wall. That's true. How many Hadrian's Wall made into my top 10 of all time? Definitely would consider it biggest surprise too. I can't call it a surprise because it's a roll and write with 1,000,000 boxes. I expected to like Hadrian's Wall. But at the same time, it made its way into my top 50. I can't remember where it was, but it was in my top 50 of all time. It's a game I really did enjoy. Mrs. Gronjon, didn't expect the Great Wall. Wow, nice. Yeah, Great Wall is phenomenal. I really, really enjoy it. Beyond the Bear, Dinosaur World is my top of 2021. I need to play it. Martine, Hadrian's Wall has me intrigued, but it's a little pricey for a game. I don't know if I can table it from time to time. It even has a solo campaign, by the way. Hadrian's Wall has a good solo campaign. I printed it out. I have not dived into it that much, though, because I don't want to, increase the gap between me and other players. I want to play it with my group. Richard, I keep being tempted by Clash of Cultures, just haven't seen recent reviews of it to see if it holds up. I haven't looked at recent reviews, actually. I just know it's a game that I loved back in the day. TK, did you play Ankh the Pharaoh expansion? I have not played the Pharaoh expansion yet. I need to do so. Charlie, I'm looking forward to it. Surprised I missed it until now. We have... Where did I just lose a chat? Okay, where did I lose a chat? Okay. We're up to my nerds. Chris the Writer, we're done. We finished the top 21. We're just finishing the chat now. Look at the descent rating. 6.666. That's the rank. That's not the rating, I believe. Eggland, I don't think it's a game, but unfound mechanics look better than the BSG. I don't think it's a game for me. I don't think it's going to be a game for me. Anthony Schwartz, assuming Galactus belongs to Justin Shearer, will you get your own, or will you also get it painted? I will get my own. I will not get it painted. Hemi, Martin, is the only game I've ever played solo. I haven't got that many games of it. We have Side Game. We have Sean Pentecost. Sounds like you need to do a top 10 re-implementations. I might. It's not a bad list idea. We have Shawnee Marvin. How do you trim 70 down more? So what I'm going to do after this, later today at some point, I'm going to go through those 70 tabs and then try to find reasons to not be interested. Anything from the ranking to the theme to the player count to the time length, thinking through. If there's a game there that's rated a 7.2 and is a 3-hour game, I'm not going to get that. A 3-hour game requires more than a 7.2. I'm harder on heavier games and the requirements I have to play them. So I'm going to, in general, try to filter that down. I imagine I'll still be walking out with 50 games that I need to try to pick up and play. It's, again, homework. Good homework compared to other homework, but still homework. A side game. The Pharaoh expansion is really good. That is good to know. I'll have to try that out. Richard, congrats on breaking 35k subs. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate it. Brian, is that Harry Potter Talisman behind you? It is Harry Potter Talisman. I'll let you know how it is once I play it. We have the Crimson Wolf. I feel your pain. So many games I haven't gotten to yet. So that's why I'm trying to play a new game every single day this year. I'll be doing videos on it. I'll be doing a once a month catch up. I will talk about it more. I'm not going to talk about it now, but I need to get ahead of the curve here. Charlie, best games under 7.5 rating, just in case there are some games misaligned that don't hit your radar. I'm not entirely sure what that means. Side game. More area control is also awesome as it emboldens the power of summon and move. Okay, we're talking about the Pharaoh Stroll. We have Man of the Meeple. Just picked up Cape May, Roleplay Adventure, Sleeping Gods, and Land vs. Sea. Super shocked at how good Land vs. Sea is. I know, right? Land vs. Sea is great. People who need to play it will tell you. It's a really, really good game. Man of the Meeple, that was Man of the Meeple. Bruno Vargas, have you gone far through Resident 3 board game campaign? I have not. I'm only like 2 or 3 games in so far. Resident Evil 3 is good, but I just have a lot of games I need to get to. I need to make the time for it. Roger Clee, would you like Bloodborne? That's great. I did not, unfortunately, but I'm glad it works for some. Mr. Miller, if you're always looking for new games... Oh, this is a good question to talk about. I'm going to end with this one. If you're always looking for new games, and with so many games coming out, how do you find time to play the games you actually like playing? Good question. And this is something you have to do. I've talked about this in multiple videos. It ultimately comes down to a mathematical equation. The first thing you have to decide is, what are your priorities? Are your priorities playing games like the new games and just always finding new experiences? There are some people who might be fine with that. I want to find the new game. I want to try the new game. And then I'm done with it and I can go on to the next thing. And I don't need to keep games. Or is your priority to play games you already own? For me, it's a mixture of both. I like playing the games I already own because what's the point of searching for the new game if I'm not going to turn around and play the best of the best that I have since found? But if I only play the old games, then I can point you to hundreds of games that I have and love that I would never have discovered. So for me, inherently, it is simultaneous a search while also enjoying the process of playing the games I love. At that point, it's a mathematical equation. How many games do you play a year? Figure out how many games you play a year. I played 1,100 games last year. 1,100 plays, not games. I played something like 450 different games last year. Not new games. In fact, I could probably tell you. Let me go ahead and check this up. Let's pull out my stats over here. Let's go to board game stats and tell you what I have for my stats of last year. Okay, insights. Okay, 2021. So I have 1,200 plays last year. Okay, I'm waiting for it to load. 1,200 plays. We have 423 games. We have 319. No, that sounds right. I have to tag those. Oh, that's a problem. So I can't trust this on the new to me. I can't trust the stats on, because it says 300 of them were new to me, but they weren't because I don't actually have them all tagged. So I have 423 different games I played. Okay, so if you played 423 different games a year, well, you can afford to play 100 new games while still playing 300 games that are old to you, right? That's the way the math works. Pick any number. You have to pick the unique games that you have played and then divide that by how many you want to play that are new versus how many you want to play that are old. In my case, because I'm a reviewer, that ratio has shifted. That ratio used to be less than 20% of my plays were new games and 80% of my plays were old games. Now that I've shifted more into the review category on YouTube and I cover a lot of reviews, it's shifted more to around 40% of my plays are new games and around 60% of my plays are old games. That's much bigger. It's like doubling of how many new games I play. But that still means that I think I played 150 new games to me last year. That's a lot. I want to make that more. I want to make that more because I want to cover a lot of the games and I want to cover the new games. But I can only do so as long as I continue to escalate the amount of old games I play. So it's really just doing the math on how many games you play and then coming to some sort of acceptable terms with some form of compromise. The compromise has to exist. The question is, what is that compromise? The compromise is either that you play more games. That's option 1. Compromise 2 is that you decide to play less new games. Compromise 3 is you decide to play less old games. But you have to do the math and figure out what your goals are and figure out where you're compromising and therefore what you're going to go ahead and play. But that's what I do. I just do the math. It is unfortunate. It's a sad reality. I recently I told my daughter that there's an interesting thing. I told my daughter that there was a thing I read once that the average adult reads like 4 books a year, which means if you were to extrapolate out to your age and your life, you're basically talking about how you might have like a few hundred books left in your life, like a few hundred books. And my daughter, who loves books, when she heard that, she was sad, and she committed to read like 5 books a week now because she likes books the same way I like games. Sometimes you have to do the math and make decisions accordingly. The decision could be compromising on something or could be doing more of that thing. And with that, I'm going to call it a wrap on the stream. Thanks so much for being here, everyone. I really appreciate all of you, and I hope you enjoy this. I certainly did, and there'll be more videos coming the rest of the week. Have a good one.